Salvete omnes. This is Abbey Latin Liber Primus, chapter 5. This exercise is parsing English to Latin, chapter 5's exercise D. So parsing, the act of giving the parts of each word as you read them, the act of dissecting each word as you go along. Start with the first word on the left, move towards the right, reading each word and parsing them as you encounter them. When you parse an English noun, you are to give the reason of that noun, which is derived mostly from the noun's placement in the sentence, because English mostly gets its syntax from word order. The number, either singular or plural, of that noun, derived from in sentence. Either the noun has an S on the end of it, showing that it's plural, or it doesn't. And then case. The case is the equivalent Latin case for that noun, which is derived from the English noun's reason. So if you have a subject, that's going to translate into the nominative case in Latin. And then it turns into a declining game once you give the equivalent Latin dictionary entry and then just decline the answer to get the right case and then the right number. When parsing an English verb, give the person, the number, and tense of that verb in the sentence, and then it becomes a conjugating game once you give the equivalent Latin dictionary entry, so the principal parts. All right, okie dokie, let's do it. Number 1, sententia una. The good farmers carry much grain to your, and that's plural your, wide fields with our tall sons. There's a lot going on here. All right, let's start. Start over here. Work your way towards the right, dissecting each word. The good farmers. So when you parse an English adjective, first give the Latin adjective, bonus aum, the Latin adjective entry. You're not going to know the case, the number, and the gender of the adjective until you find its noun, because the adjective, it's sort of like a chameleon. It can take on whatever endings it needs to modify whatever noun it needs to. So the good farmers, good, the adjective good is modifying the noun farmers. So let's go to farmers. Farmers, that's going to be the subject of our sentence, because who's doing the action of the verb? Who's carrying much grain? That's the farmers. Farmers are the subject. They are plural, because there's an S on the end of the noun. That translates to the nominative case in Latin. So we want the nominative plural of agricola I, masculine farmer. If we know that the noun is nominative plural masculine, the adjective must also be nominative plural and masculine. Keep those adjective charts, those paradigms of their forms handy. Or you could, radical idea, memorize your noun endings, because the adjective endings are the same. So the good farmers, we want the nominative plural masculine, agricolae boni. They carry, here's the verb they do, third person plural, because they are carrying, the farmers they carry. Present tense of porto, portare, portavi, portatus, to carry. So we want the unt, third person plural ending, so portant. They carry much grain. So much is an adjective modifying the noun grain. Much is multus aum. It will get its gender, number, and case from the noun grain. So if grain is the direct object, the noun receiving the action of the verb, so that's the accusative case. Singular grain, plural would be grains. So different kinds of grains, like rye and barley and wheat and whatnot. So this is just one kind. We only have one kind of grain today. Frumentum e neuter, grain. So if this grain is accusative, singular, and neuter, we want the adjective multus to be accusative, singular, and neuter as well. So multum frumentum. Adjectives denoting quantity typically come before the noun they modify. So multum frumentum. So we're carrying this direct object towards a place. We want ad plus the accusative showing motion towards your wide fields. So your, this is a possessive adjective. It's an adjective, it's showing possession, your. That is your plural, wester, westra, westrum, and it's modifying the noun fields. So we're not at fields yet. We have wide, another adjective, latus aum. Both of these adjectives will modify the noun fields. So when we get to fields, that's going to be motion, because it goes with this preposition ad, to or towards. We're going towards the fields. Accusative, motion. Accusative plural, masculine, of ager, agri, masculine field. So ad agros. Well, now we have to deal with these adjectives. These adjectives modifying the noun fields must also be the same gender, number, and case, or else they don't agree. So that needs to be accusative plural masculine, and that needs to be accusative plural masculine as well. So ad vestros agros latos. Ad vestros agros latos is how I would say that. With our tall sons. So with preposition cum plus the ablative of accompaniment. With our tall sons. Our and tall are adjectives modifying the noun sons. So we have our, noster, nostra, nostrum, and tall, altus, Their case, number, and gender will hinge upon the noun sons. So we said that's accompaniment. That will be plural sons. So ablative of accompaniment of filius, masculine, son. So cum filiis. And then noster must be ablative plural masculine as well as altus, ablative plural masculine, to agree with filiis. So cum nostris filiis altis. All right, so all together, the subject, the good farmers, the agricolae boni, they are portant, carrying the direct object multum frumentum, ad, motion towards your vestros agros latos, in the company of cum nostris filiis altis. So in word order, agricolae boni, cum nostris filiis altis, multum frumentum ad vestros agros latos portant. Optime, pulcherrime, beautifully done. Very nice. All right, sententia secunda, secunda. Many are carrying water out of the forest towards your singular farmhouse. So many are carrying. Many is an adjective, multus but here it is acting like a noun, the subject of carrying. So we're treating this adjective, many, as a noun, as a substantive. This is a substantive adjective. So when we see this multus we want to give it nominative, plural, and masculine endings. Nominative because it's the subject of the verb are carrying, multi, and plural masculine because people in Latin, the Romans assume that there is at least one dude in there. And the masculine gender has dominance over the feminine and the neuter in Latin because Latin's a sexist language. I'm sorry. So multi, many, the many. They are carrying, third person plural, unt ending of porto, portare, portavi, portatus, so portant, multi-portant. They are carrying water. This is our direct object, the noun receiving the action of the verb. So aqua, feminine, water. Direct object is going to be in the accusative case. So we want the accusative singular of aqua, which is aquam. Out of the forest, ex plus the ablative, out of. Remember, the of is part of the preposition out of, ex. So forest, we want the ablative plural of silva, feminine, ablative of separation, silvis, towards, ad plus the accusative motion towards, your singular, this is tuus and it is a possessive adjective modifying the noun farmhouse. If farmhouse is accusative because motion towards, singular and feminine, then tuus the adjective, must also be accusative, singular, and feminine. Ad tuam vilam, or ad vilam tuam. So multi aquam vilis ad tuam vilam portant. Multi aquam silvis ad tuam vilam portant. Optime, tertia, sententia tertia. We are sailing to Africa's many beautiful lands. We are sailing. First person plural present tense, mus ending, ost, mus tis unt of navigo, navigare, navigavi, navigatus. We want navigamus. We are sailing to or towards. We're not sailing to or towards Africa. I mean, really, we are, but we're more correctly sailing towards the lands. We're sailing to the lands. So ad, ad, plus the accusative motion towards, that's going to go with lands. So put that in your back pocket for now. Africas, so Africa I feminine. Africas with the apostrophe S. Possession, that's genitive case. Africa is possessing the many beautiful lands. So we want Africa I feminine in the genitive, and that's Africae. Many and beautiful are both adjectives describing the noun lands. So whatever case number and gender lands is, the adjectives must follow suit, or else they don't agree with that noun. Many is multus aum, and beautiful is pulcher, pulchra, pulchrum. So lands, we said, must be accusative because of motion, must be plural, and lands is going to be, let's see, that's terra I feminine. So we want terras, and because it's feminine, we want accusative, plural, feminine. The adjectives must be accusative, plural, and feminine. So we want multas and pulchras. Ad Africae multas terras pulchras navigamos. Ad Africae multas terras pulchras navigamos. Optime. Sententia quarta. Quarta. The Gauls are fighting, we can say fighting against the Italians, but do not seize the Italians' lands. They just like fighting them. So, are fighting. We have two parts here, separated by this comma and this conjunction but, with one T. So the Gauls are fighting, but they do not seize. Two verbs, fighting and seize. The Gauls are the subject of both. Both. The Gauls are both doing the fighting, and they are not seizing. So we have Gauls, Gallus aum, and from that adjective we can get the substantive noun the Gauls. So Gallus e masculine is a Gallic man, a man of Gaul, and we're going to make that plural to get us the Gauls. So Galli, Galli, the Gauls. They are fighting against the Italians. So unt ending, third person plural, unt ending on pugno, pugnare, pugnavi, pugnatus. So pugnant, Galli pugnant. They're fighting against. We'll use the preposition contra, contra, which takes the accusative. So we want the accusative of, here we have the Italians. So Italian is an adjective. The Italians, that's a substantive adjective. So Italians, that comes from Italus aum. The Italos, Italos. We want accusative because it's the direct object, it's the object of the preposition contra. And plural, and it's going to be masculine. So we could say the Gallic men are fighting the Italian men. So Galli contra Italos pugnant. But, one T, that's S-E-D, said. Said, they do not seize. Known, N-O-N, known, the adverb modifying the verb seize. They do not seize. Third person plural, unt, from occupo, occupare, occupavi, occupatus. So, unt, known occupant, the Italians' lands, the lands of the Italians. So the lands, this is going to be the direct object of the verb seize. So accusative, plural, we want feminine from terra I feminine, so terras. The terras of the Italians, plural Italians. Italus aum, make it genitive, make it plural, and masculine. So like, do not seize the lands of the Italian men. So sed Italorum, Italorum, genitive plural, terras non occupant. So altogether, Galli contra Italos pugnant, sed Italorum terras non occupant. Alrighty, quinta, sententia quinta. On account of my bad son, many people, or you just say many, do not bring great gifts. I think we can all relate. On account of my bad son, many do not bring great gifts. On account of. Now some of you may see this of, and that might scream to you, hey look, I'm genitive. It's not. The of is part of this preposition, on account of. This is the preposition ob, or propter. Either one works. They're both synonyms. They mean the same thing. And they take, both of them, the accusative case. So because of, on account of, and then my bad son all needs to be in the accusative. So my is an adjective. It's a possessive adjective agreeing with the noun son. So meos a It'll have the same gender numbering case as son, along with malus a bad. Will have the same gender numbering case as the noun son. So on account of my bad son, son must be accusative because of the preposition on account of or propter. Singular son, there's only one, and masculine because he's filius e masculine. So ob, filium, he's also mine and bad. So meos a meum, we want the accusative singular masculine of meos, that's meum, and then bad, we want the accusative singular masculine of malus a so bad son. Ob, meum, filium, malum, propter, meum, filium, malum. So on account of that dude, that bad dude, many people, the many. So this is a substantive adjective. Many is always an adjective, here acting like a noun, like a substantive, being the subject of this verb, bring. So many people, that's just going to be multis a with the nominative plural masculine multi. Multi, known, the adverb not, negating this verb, bring. Who does not bring great gifts? They, the people, they do not bring gifts. They, third person plural, unt ending on bring or carry. So porto, portare, portavi, portatus. They do not carry great gifts. They do not bring great gifts. So non portant. Non portant. On account of my bad son, many people do not bring great gifts, with great gifts being the direct object of the verb bring, being the direct object of non portant. So we have great adjective modifying the noun gifts. A gift, donum e neuter, plural gifts. So accusative plural neuter, dona. And we want great, magnus a to also be accusative plural and neuter, magna. So dona magna. On account of my bad son, many people do not bring great gifts. We could say ob, meum filium malum, multi, dona magna, non portant. Ob, meum filium malum, multi, dona magna, non portant. What a sad state of affairs. Optime. Sexta sententia, sententia sexta. We are sailing from Italy towards the great forests of Germania. So we are sailing from Italy. We are sailing. First person plural of navigo, navigare, navigavi, navigatus. So navigamos, navigamos. From Italy, ab plus the ablative. So the ablative of Italia, I feminine, is Italia. Macron over the A. There's no plural. Ab, let's put a B on that ab. So ab, Italia. Towards, we're going towards the great forest. Ad, ad, ad. Towards the accusative motion towards the forest. Forest is silva I feminine. Forest, plural. So we want the plural accusative silvas. So ad, silvas, and they're also great. Magnus a we want the accusative plural feminine. We want magnas. Ad silvas magnas. And then these forests are of Germany. They belong to Germany. Germania. Germania I feminine. We want the genitive because Germany possesses the forests. So Germaniae, Germaniae. And I would say something like ad Germaniae silvas magnas. Or you could say ad silvas magnas Germaniae. So we are sailing from Italy towards. So ab Italia, ad silvas magnas Germaniae navigamus. Septima. Sententia septima. Many are working in wide Italian fields in front of the forests. So many are working. Once again, here's this. The many, substantive adjective, multus aum, nominative plural masculine, multi. Multi are working, laboro, laborare, laboravi, laboratus. They are working, laborant. So multi laborant, many are working. Where are they working? They're working in plus the ablative, showing location. In plus the, not the wide, not the Italian, but the fields. They're in the fields. We want the ablative plural of ager, agri, masculine, fields. In agris. And those fields are modified by the adjectives wide and Italian. So wide is latus aum, must also be ablative plural masculine. So latis. And Italian must also be ablative plural masculine, italis. In italis agris latis, or in agris latis et italis, or in latis agris italis. Lots of permutations possible. In front of. Don't look at that of and say, the next word must be a genitive. No, in front of. The of is part of the preposition in front of, and that is ante, in front of or before. Ante, before. Ante takes the accusative in front of the forests, in front of the forest. So we want the accusative of silva, I, feminine. Silvas, silvas. So, multi, in, agris, latis et italis, ante silvas, laborant. Or you could say multi, in, latis, agris, italis, ante silvas, laborant. Something like that. Make sure the endings are correct. Octava, sententia octava. Both the boy and the girl are small. Okay, so we have both the boy and the girl. If we have both something and something else, both x and y, you can say et for the first, both, and et for the second one. They're called correlative conjunctions because they correlate. They correlate to each other. They work off of each other. So et, boy, et, girl are small. Are is our linking verb. We're saying that this compound subject, subject 1 and subject 2, are both of them this predicate nominative, which is an adjective. The adjective is modifying both the boy and the girl. So et, nominative singular puer, pueri masculine, et puer, et puella, from puella I feminine, girl. Now, you have some options here. They are small. So we could say sunt, linking verb, but then for the adjective, parvus aum, if it's going with both of them, and it is, masculine takes precedent over feminine. So it'll be parvi. It'll be plural because there was more than one, but masculine wins out over feminine, so parvi. Et puer et puella sunt parvi. Now, if we put the adjective first, small are both the boy and the girl, where we're emphasizing the adjective small, we could say parvus est et puer et puella, where the et puella, the girl, is kind of like an afterthought. Notice that the adjective parvus would be singular and it would just agree with the closest one, filius. But if we change the word order a little bit and we said parva est et filia et filius, sometimes especially if the adjective comes first, then the preceding subjects, then the succeeding subjects, the subjects that follow the linking verb, the adjective will take the gender of whatever is the closest subject. The easiest way to do this is just to put Et puer et puella sunt parvi. Parvi, the nominative plural masculine ending, because we have a plural subject and masculine wins out over feminine. But go ahead and check out chapter 5 to review different ways to make adjectives agree with nouns and different word orders that you can use. Nona, sententia nona. We are fighting against our friends in the fields behind your farmhouse. Yes, we are. Subject, we, because we are doing the verb, we are fighting, a mus ending on pugno, pugnare, pugnavi, pugnatus. So pugnamus, against, contra, takes the accusative case, against our friends, against the friends. So friends, amicus e masculine, our belonging to us, noster, nostra, nostrum. So noster has to have the same gender numbering case as the noun friends. Contra, accusative plural, amicos. That means that our is going to be nostros, nostros amicos. Pugnamos contra nostros amicos. In is telling us where we are located. That's where this brawl is happening. That's where the fight is happening. In the fields. In plus the ablative of location, fields. Ager, agri, masculine. So in agris. And the fields are located behind your farmhouse. Behind. After. Post. Post is a preposition taking the accusative case. It's behind the farmhouse belonging to you. It's yours. Your is a possessive adjective. Let's say it's singular. Tuus aum. It agrees with the noun farmhouse. We la I feminine. If the preposition post takes the accusative case, then farmhouse must be accusative, singular and feminine. So must tuus aum. So post tuam vilam. All right. So in the fields, in agris, behind your farmhouse, post tuam vilam. Against our friends, contra nostros amigos, we are fighting. Pugnamos. You can change that around a little bit, but that's a fine word order. In agris post tuam vilam, contra nostros amigos pugnamos. Optime. Endemum sententia decima. Decima. Ye are walking from your plural beautiful country with good friends. Well, of course, with good friends. So the verb is walking and ye are doing it. Y'all are the subject. Second person plural. The ending will be tis. Ost mus tis unt. So ambulo, ambulas, ambulat, ambulamus, ambulatus, ambulant. So ambulatus. Ye are walking. Ye are walking. From, we're moving away from your beautiful country. We're moving away from the country. Aab plus the ablative of patria, I, feminine, country. The adjectives, your plural, wester, westra, and westrum, and beautiful, pulcher, pulcra, and pulcrum, must modify country, or else they don't agree with it. So if country, patria, is ablative because of the preposition from, showing separation, and singular, and feminine, then wester, westra, westrum must be ablative, singular, and feminine. So westra, macron over the final A. And pulcher, pulcra, pulcrum, beautiful, must be the ablative, singular, feminine, pulcra, with the macron over the final A, to agree with patria. With good friends. With, preposition cum plus the ablative of accompaniment, cum friends. We want the ablative plural of amicus e masculine. And then the adjective good, bonus aum, must also be ablative plural and masculine. So cum bonis amicis. Cum amicis bonis. All right, so from your beautiful country. A vestra patria pulcra cum amicis bonis ambulatis. A vestra patria pulcra cum amicis bonis ambulatis. Optime, very well done. You have completed all the work for Chapter 5. Optime, Chapter 6 awaits. Valete omnes.